Welcome to the Nameless.
He waved and mouthed my name. I had never been there before. At least I'm almost certain I hadn't. It was a Tuesday, middle of the week, nothing poetic about it. I'd left work late because the printer jammed for the third time and somehow that became my problem. By the time I got on the road, traffic had thinned out into that empty, humming quiet that makes every stoplight feel personal. I missed my exit. It wasn't dramatic, I was just tired. I took the next one without thinking, planning to loop back around. The ramp curved longer than it should have. No streetlights, just my headlights carving out two pale tunnels through trees that leaned too close to the asphalt. I remember checking my GPS. No signal, which wasn't impossible. Rural pocket, dead zone, fine. The road ended at a small parking lot. Gravel, faded white lines, one flickering lamppost buzzing like it was chewing on electricity. And across the lot, a building, 2 stories, square.
Brown brick that looked damp even though it hadn't rained. Half the windows were dark, the other half glowed faintly, like someone had left lights on but turned them down low. There was no sign, no name, just a metal door with a narrow window and a strip of peeling numbers above it. 3 digits. I don't remember them. I've tried to. I should have turned around. Instead, I parked. I don't know why. Maybe because the place felt familiar. Not welcoming, not warm, just familiar, like I'd dreamed it once and forgotten. I told myself I just needed to use the bathroom, maybe ask for directions, stretch my legs. When I stepped out of the car, the air felt still. Not quiet, still, like it was waiting. My footsteps on the gravel were too loud. The lamppost flickered again. That's when I looked up at the second floor window and saw him. He stood just behind the glass, close enough that I could see his face clearly despite the dim light. He looked exactly like me. Not similar, exactly. Same haircut, same jacket, even the small tear near the cuff of the left sleeve. He didn't look surprised. He didn't look confused. He looked relieved. And then he waved. Slow, casual, like we'd planned this. I didn't move. I remember checking my reflection in my car window just to make sure it was me. When I looked back up, he was still there. That's when he mouthed my name, not shouted, not exaggerated, just formed the syllables calmly. Perfectly. I felt my body do that thing it does before you get sick, that cold bloom under your ribs. I didn't wave back. I didn't run either. I just stood there, staring, trying to find the flaw. A trick of the glass, a trick of light. Some guy who looked like me. It happens. People have doubles. There are whole social media accounts about it. I took a step closer. He mirrored me. Not at the same time. A half second after, like a lag. Then he stopped copying. He leaned closer to the glass and shook his head. Slowly. No.
The lamppost flickered again. When it steadied, the window was empty. I don't remember deciding to go inside. I just remember being at the door. It wasn't locked. The hallway smelled faintly of cleaning solution and something older underneath, like paper left in a damp attic. Fluorescent lights hummed overhead. A few were out, leaving soft gaps of shadow along the ceiling. The place looked like an office building, maybe medical, maybe administrative. Beige walls, bulletin boards with nothing pinned to them. There was a directory mounted near the entrance. It was blank. Not scratched off, not faded, just blank. Clear plastic cover, no paper inside. I told myself the building was under renovation or closing down, or opening soon. Normal explanations. I walked down the hallway. My footsteps echoed more than they should have, like the space was bigger than the walls suggested. I found a staircase at the end, second floor. My chest felt tight, but in a focused way. Like I was solving a problem. If someone was up there, I'd find them. If it was some weird coincidence, I'd clear it up. Each step creaked softly under my weight. Halfway up, I noticed something strange. The dust on the railing was undisturbed, except for one clean streak, the exact width of a hand. At the top of the stairs, the lights were dimmer. The hallway stretched in two directions. Every door was closed. No sounds, no movement. I walked to the room I thought I'd seen him in. Third door on the left. The handle was cold. I opened it slowly. Empty office. Desk, chair, filing cabinet. No computer, no papers. But the chair was pulled out slightly, angled toward the window, like someone had just stood up. The window overlooked the parking lot. My car sat alone under the flickering lamp. I stepped closer, and that's when I noticed something that didn't make sense. There was a second car, parked beside mine. Same model, same color, same dent on the rear bumper. I blinked, looked again. Just my car, alone. I laughed under my breath, too loudly. Stress does things to you. I checked my phone. Still no signal. The time read 9:17 p.m. I don't know why that stuck with me. I turned to leave the office and froze. The door was closed. I was almost certain I'd left it open. I stood there for a long moment, listening. Nothing. I opened the door. The hallway looked the same, but longer. It felt longer. I walked back toward the stairs. Halfway down the hall, I passed a door that hadn't been there before. I know how that sounds. But I had counted the doors when I walked in. 3 on each side. Now there were 4 on the right. This one had a small plaque mounted at eye level. It read, Archive. The letters looked new, polished. I stared at it for a long time. Then I opened it. Inside was a room filled with shelves. Not files, not boxes, just framed photographs. Dozens, maybe hundreds, all arranged neatly, all facing the door. They were pictures of me, at the grocery store, at work, walking into my apartment building, sitting in my car at a red light. Different days, different clothes. Some I recognized, some I didn't. In a few of them, I looked directly at the camera, but I didn't remember doing that. At the back of the room was a corkboard, one photo pinned to it. It showed the parking lot outside. 2 cars, parked side by side. Mine and mine. Stamped in the corner was a date. Tomorrow's. I backed out of the room slowly, closed the door. When I looked up, the hallway was empty, but the lights were off. All of them. Only the faint glow from the stairwell remained. I don't remember walking down the stairs. I remember being outside. The lamppost had stopped flickering. My car was alone. I got in, locked the doors. The engine started immediately. Headlights cut across the building's facade. The second-floor windows were dark. All of them. I drove home without looking in the rearview mirror. I didn't sleep that night. The next morning, I tried to find the building. I retraced my route, took the same exit. The ramp was shorter this time. It led to a gas station. No gravel lot, no brick building. I thought I'd taken the wrong turn, so I drove for hours. Different exits, side roads, nothing. I checked satellite maps when I got home, zoomed in on every stretch of road near where I thought I'd been.
There was no building there, just trees. I went back the next night, and the night after. I even asked a coworker who grew up in the area if there used to be an office complex off that highway. He frowned, said there's never been anything there except forest. I searched property records online, county archives, old news articles. Nothing. No permits, no demolition reports, no trace. I told myself I was tired that night, overworked, stressed. Maybe I'd dreamed it. But then I noticed something. On my phone, in my camera roll, between two photos I remembered taking earlier that week, there was one I didn't. A picture of me, standing in that parking lot, looking up at the second floor window. The angle was from above, from inside. I checked the metadata. The timestamp read 9:17 p.m. Location services were disabled. I deleted the photo. It reappeared the next day. Same timestamp. I turned my phone off, left it off for 24 hours. When I turned it back on, the photo was gone. Instead, there was a new one, taken from the same angle, but closer. In this one, I wasn't looking up. I was looking straight at the camera, smiling. I don't remember smiling. I haven't driven that highway since. I avoid it completely. Sometimes, late at night, I'll sit in my apartment and feel that same stillness I felt in the parking lot, like the air is waiting. I've started noticing small things. My jacket sleeve tear looks newer, like it's been pulled again. There's a faint streak of dust on my stair railing at home, the width of a hand. Once, I caught my reflection in a dark window, and for a split second, it didn't look relieved. It looked patient.
I haven't told anyone the full story. Not really, because there's a part I haven't mentioned, the part I can't explain. The night after I first saw the building, before I went back to search for it, I had a dream. In the dream, I was standing behind a second-floor window, looking down at a man in the parking lot. He looked exactly like me, lost, confused. I remember feeling something strange, not fear, anticipation. I raised my hand and waved. When I woke up, my throat was sore, like I'd been whispering or mouthing words. And ever since then, I can't shake the feeling that I didn't stumble onto that place by accident, that I didn't miss my exit, that I didn't park there out of curiosity. Sometimes I think about that photo dated tomorrow, about the second car, and I wonder something I probably shouldn't. What if I wasn't the one being watched? What if I was the one inside, waiting for myself to arrive?